Well, good morning, everybody, again, and a very warm welcome back to day 3 of our Marine Energy Wales annual conference. I hope that you found the first two days as stimulating as I have, and we have a really good programme for you again today. 3 principal sessions coming up, one on the cost reduction pathway and how to get there for our industry. Then we're talking about turning electrons blue beyond the supporting revenue mechanism and what that will mean in the longer term. And then finally, this afternoon, a showcase event on tidal stream and tidal range. And following on what I thought was a particularly successful showcase yesterday afternoon on wave and floating wind, I'm sure that we'll see again the level. It will just endorse the level of activity that's going on around our Welsh coastline. So this morning, I'm first of all delighted to welcome Jasper Roberts, who is the Deputy Director in the Welsh Government for the Renewable Energy Programme and Projects. Jasper is going to give us a keynote address now before we go on to the first session in a short while. So I'm going to leave the stage now and hand you over to Jasper, who will give you his. So Jasper, very welcome. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hearing what you have to say. Thank you, Jasper.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you can all hear me. If you can't, Bethan, please tell me straight away, because I'm never quite sure if I'm supposed to press any buttons. Good morning. Thanks to Martin. Thanks to the MEW Chair, Martin, for your introduction this morning. It's good to be here. This is my first MEW conference, co-sponsored by the Welsh Government, though I have to say it feels a bit strange to be talking into a machine and the fact that I can't see any of you. As Martin says, there's an interesting day lined up following on from Wednesday and yesterday, and I'm looking forward to seeing the project showcase this afternoon. First, however, I've been asked to say a few words about the work I'm doing on marine energy for the Welsh Government. Straight off, you know my name, and as Martin says, I'm a Deputy Director in the Economy and Infrastructure Department of the Welsh Government. This is part of Ken Skate's portfolio area as Minister for Economy and Transport, and of course North Wales, which has important connections with marine opportunities. So you'll see that this is being looked at now by Welsh Government from an economic and projects programme point of view, not just about renewable energy and decarbonisation, important as they are. To talk about what the ask is, those of you who follow Welsh politics will recall that Mark Drakeford, in his leadership manifesto back in the autumn 2018, said the Welsh Government should make investment in renewable energy a cornerstone of its strategy for the Welsh economy. We've got an abundance of raw material for the sustainable energy of the future, wind, water and waves, and we must continue to invest in the technologies which will shape the future of the world in an era of energy shortage. He went on to say we must create the industries which these technologies will then produce, and where the long-term jobs are to be found for the future economy of Wales. In saying this, he referred to a continued commitment to tidal lagoon technology in Wales as being important and potentially making a further contribution to renewable energy and creating an industry for the future. This message was reinforced in the Labour Party manifesto for the 2019 UK election, when Mark Drakeford repeated the commitment to put Wales on track for a net zero carbon energy system within the 2030s, if not sooner. This included an ambition for new onshore and offshore wind turbines and support for lagoon projects as part of a green industrial revolution to create jobs and green energy. The Minister for Environment, Energy and Rural Affairs, Lesley Griffiths, in her opening address on Wednesday, referred to how the Welsh Government is already leading the way in renewable energy innovation and has invested in some of the world's most advanced wave and tidal technologies, which are in development in the test areas established around the Welsh coast. As well as investment in the more established marine energy technologies and tidal stream, ministers have also been considering how to take these ideas forward in less established areas of tidal range technologies, including lagoons. And this is what I've been asked to take forward. Since I started in summer 2019, my work on marine has been held up by working simultaneously on new legislation for the bus industry. The Bus Services Bill was introduced into the Senedd in March last year, only to be derailed by coronavirus. And my work on marine has been further held up by the virus itself, as in the first 8 months of the pandemic, it was all hands to the pump, if I can use a marine metaphor, to do the necessary COVID regulations and guidance, for example, for social distancing and public transport. However, by last autumn, I and a small team from local partnerships, and some of you will have heard Mike Williams of Local Partnerships, who's also Programme Director at LP for the Marine Energy Programme, on a panel on Wednesday. We had completed initial scoping work, and ministers agreed to our starting a process of informal consultation with the industry to sound out what the appetite is for marine developments in Wales, where we are with projects, what the issues and barriers are to the successful development of marine projects in Welsh waters, and what the industry wants and needs from the Welsh Government to facilitate development. We're looking at 2 work streams in marine: existing and more established technologies and tidal stream, including for the future floating offshore wind on the one hand, and secondly, tidal range, that is lagoons. Engagement with marine energy stakeholders has been very positive and constructive. It includes demonstration zones, developers, other supply chain providers, and representative bodies such as Marine Energy Wales and the Tidal Range Alliance. There is recognition that Wales has a unique set of circumstances, such as a variety of marine energy natural resources, some strong local marine industries, and maturing test sites, which give it a potential comparative advantage. There's also a wide appreciation of the visible top-level political support for the sector. However, there are also concerns that Wales could lose this potential to become a world leader in the sector if we don't grasp the opportunity. Some emerging themes are the need for commitment to the development of an initial Welsh revenue support mechanism to support the route to market, better overarching coordination and strategic leadership to manage mutual dependencies in projects and across the supply chain, for example, including grid connections, a better, more consistent and risk-balanced approach to consenting, and a collaborative approach, for example, to supply chain delivery that allows us to capture and develop opportunities here in Wales and alongside partner regions elsewhere in the UK, and not export jobs, given the scale of some of these developments. We are already in discussions with neighbouring regions such as Liverpool and Merseyside, and groups such as the Celtic Sea Alliance, which link Wales and, for example, Cornwall. On lagoons, we are focused now on how best to provide a pilot tidal lagoon project in Wales with a route to market, most likely through a competition or challenge fund, which will provide a mechanism for the Welsh Government to provide financial or other support to one or more tidal lagoon projects. The details of this are yet to be fully worked out, as well as the number of projects that can be supported. We also take very seriously the issues about ensuring that projects in the sea do not have detrimental environmental impacts, and in getting this aspect of the programme right. The opportunities are huge, embracing green energy, new green industries and green jobs, as well as co-benefits such as coastal protection. The response from the industry has been very positive, and we are about to move into a new phase of more structured soft market testing and analysis to design and cost the competition. We are planning and hope to put out a PIN notice, that is a prior information notice, towards the end of February with more information about the Tidal Lagoon Challenge. So that is where we are on this latest phase of marine work. To conclude, if you have been, thanks for listening. I'm very happy to take questions if there is time, and I hand you back to Martin Murphy, your chair for today. Thank you.